All right, today I got these trucking company. They've got these swimming pools they need filled in their parking lot. I'm just kidding, they're just potholes as you can see, but they're really big, and I'm going to get these filled in, power rake filled in with some large number 2 stone, and then put some 53s over it. Got a little bit of rain today, but that's no big deal. Kind of helps find the potholes a little easier when you got them filled with water, but I'm going to get a lot of that water out of here in a second. I'm mainly showing this section because this is the worst area, but to the left and where my back behind my truck, there's quite a few more, and then straight ahead there's quite a few, but this is the worst area. So I'm gonna get these fixed up and get these leveled off for the customer, and hopefully they'll have happier drivers, because I think they've been complaining about these for a while now, probably a year or two. So I'm sure the drivers will be happy getting across here again. Alrighty, I'm gonna get started and get power raking around these potholes. Thanks for watching. Alright, now I'm going to use the power rake to chew up the edges of these potholes. As these potholes form and get deeper, all that excess stone is pushed up out to the edges, so you really need to power rake them to bust them up and chew up that compacted stone so it can be used to start leveling out these potholes once you fill the hole in with the number 2 crushed limestone. As I go along here, I start using the power rake as a trencher to kind of open up between each pothole and get the water to flow to that drain right at the bottom of the screen there. All right, so this is number 2 stone. This is about 2 to 3 inches in size. And this is great for filling in the base of these potholes. This is the first of 6 loads I used on this job, 6 triaxle loads. So it's a pretty good sized job. I started this job at about 8 o'clock in the morning and finished at about 5 o'clock. So it took me all day to get this job completed for this customer. I'd actually looked at this job about 2 months prior to actually doing it. Never heard back from the customer. I had contacted them again to just see if they were interested in getting it done, and they had called me back to put it on the schedule. And I had told them, I said, well, it's going to be a little bit messy looking initially with all the rain we've had, but it's definitely doable and I'll get it done for you. Now I've got a load of number 53 stone with the dust that I'm going to put over the top of these potholes. They're pretty much back to level, but this just gives a nice smooth surface, and as the truck drivers drive over it, they'll pack it down. And I actually, here in a few minutes, will go with my truck several times to just start the process of packing it down and getting it back even with the rest of the parking lot. Now I'm just using my truck to start compacting this stone. Ultimately, within probably a few days, this stone will be pretty packed down with all the trucks. As you saw while I was working on this job, the trucks are going by. They are in operation the entire time, but they were pretty much staying out of my way to let me get the job done. So this pothole was not as deep. I'd consider it more like a kiddie pool. So I didn't end up using the number 2 stone to fill this one in. It would have been really hard to cover up the number 2 stone with 53s. You really need a good at least 6 inches depth on the pothole to use the number 2 stone. This pothole had only been about 3 to 4 inches, so I just decided to use number 53s only on this one, and it turned out just fine filling it in and getting it leveled off with the rest of the parking lot. All right, all done with this job. Customer seems happy with it and satisfied. And I wanted to show you the tracks on this machine. They got pretty caked with the mud and muck from the potholes, but no big deal. These machines are pretty resilient and shouldn't be an issue for it. Just a little bit messy for the day. All right, back to the beginning where we started. You'll see that drain here come up in just a second. There it is right in front of me. That's where that really large pothole was I started with. Filled it in with the number 2 stone and then went over the top with the number 53 stone with dust. And that 53 stone is really great for finishing off these parking lots and these potholes to make a nice hard compacted surface for the drivers to go across. As that stone dries out and that dust solidifies, it'll make a nice surface for driving. And hopefully they'll save some money on the chiropractor bills for their drivers. Thanks for watching.